What up, though? This is Gktv Yikers, Pro with the Tools, episode 11. So, I got my session lined up. This song right here, I don't even have a title to this song yet, but I made the song. I got my session lined up. Got my drums set up. These are all my drums. Let's just go over this real quick. And bass line, mid bass line, ARP, pads, sequence, plug 1, plug guitars, FX1, FX2, and everything is fresh. I took my levels down to about 33 so I can have some headroom coming in before I start adding bus channels for my mastering stage. But right now, once I loaded it up, I'm going to concentrate on this bass line here. Alright, I just want to change the tone of that, so I'm going to add this heat wave. What is it? Solid state logic. Just give it some more bite with this one. I'm going to put a little, what is this? This Magma little tube on here by Waves. And this is going to add some grit to it. You know, if I drive it to like max, but I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to add a little grit to it. About in between 3 and 4. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to feel it. And then I'll put some EQ on it. You know, just to make it cut through. Just take a little bit off that curve in right there. Alright, so these pads right here is the next thing I'm going to concentrate on. When I was making the beat in Fruity Loops, I always kept in mind that I'm going to do most of my boosting and most of my extra stuff on the post-in when I do my mixing and mastering. So I ain't do nothing too special. If anything I did was put a little warp on it when I made it in Fruity Loops. But I could do warp in post, but I did it in pre because, you know, get that out the way. So with these pads, they're kind of low, so of course I'm going to turn them up some. And they're kind of dark, but if I was going for a dark, moody song, those would be perfect. But, you know, this is a chill song, but I do want those pads because those is like the main melody and everything else is just incorporating with that in the bass. So what I'm going to do with those pads is put some more high end, but put some air in it. And this plug-in called Fresh Air, you know, it's for like vocals and whatnot, but it puts some brights and some highs in. The sides. And this is your wet dry knob, I think. No, sounds more like a volume than a wet dry knob, but I'm pretty much satisfied with that. And gotta put some EQ on that too, just to make sure it cut through. Word. With these drums right here, take a little bit of that percussive out. put another EQ on there. Let's try that heat on there. You know, might make it cut through. May not have to use the EQ. Not what I was going for, but that's pretty cool. I can just slide the EQ underneath that then. Alright. Save that. Okay, don't have to. I'm going to put maybe some reverb. Of course I'm going to put some reverb. I'm just like deciding which reverb to use. And I'm just going to go to my go-to. Alright, do this slow. When I opened up this channel right here, I called it FXX1, you know, and this is called my bus channel. I created a bus channel. Let me take that off. Just do it from scratch. You know, just click left click, create new, make it a stereo or a mono, but I made it a stereo because I'm always doing stereo. Name it FXX1, create. This top button right here, this top tab says no input. Make it an input. I just took it already down to 17, 18, you know. Insert a plug-in. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with this Cathedral preset. I'm going to open up an EQ underneath the reverb because, as I said it before, the reverb adds like a lot of unwanted bass, and it muddies up the mix. And reason why I created a bus channel for a reverb is to have it on the side to control how much of the signal that I want to go in there, instead of having the reverb right under here, because it'll wash out my signal unless the reverb or the plugin itself has a wet dry mix. Bust that to 17, 18. Double click that. That'll come up. That's control. That's letting the plugin know how much signal is going to it. Wait a minute. Put it on this one right now. All right. So if I were to bring this plug-in to over here, this is how it sound. Just washed out in reverb. And that's why it's important to create a bus channel for your effects, unless you're just trying to have your reverb or whatever washed out, unless the plugin in and of itself has a wet dry mix. But even then, it is still more than likely it will come out undesired in my taste. And alright, so to save CPU, I'm just gonna send other things over there too that I feel that can use some reverb. like these plucks. Yeah. Everything doesn't need EQ, but I think I might just curve a little bit of the percussive on these. Word. All right, so the preset on that said VST with those plucks already had some type of reverb going on, so that's my decision to see if I wanted to, just make it a little extra. Oh yeah. Those has got some has some high ends going on that I ain't kind of care for. So let's see what this does. No, yeah. Yep. Let's do this too. Put a little grit on that boy. It ain't gonna hurt. Alright, so that made it louder. So I can turn it down. Did it bypass because this is how it was. This is the level of the signal, or the level of the track, the level of the whatever without it. And then when I put it on, it matches the same level, but the desired effect is still applied. Alright, cool with that. And reason why I use like other EQs, I gotta might as well use them. But you gotta figure out which one, is a preference for the song you're using or the tone you're trying to go for, because each plugin adds its own tone. I took a little of the sub out, raised some mids to make it cut through the mix. And you notice that like I started out at 33 all across the board, but as things progress, the 33 across the board is a flat line, just a straight flat line starting point, and then I start to adjust. Like I said, I boosted the pads up. I boosted. No, the bass is still the same, but I think I raised that up just a little bit more. And I did the same with that. Alright, what else do I need to? It's this one. Let me get to the loudest part because that ramps up. As you notice from the waveform, kind of, you know, stays kind of small, then it starts to get larger, just slightly though. And this is like the targeted part, you know, the loudest part of said whatever is the part that I want to try to EQ or put the master on first, because that's when the song or said track gets the loudest. And so you kind of figure out what your frequencies is going to do, because if I start from here, I'm like, hey, I don't hear anything, you know, because it's kind of quiet. Then I get the boost in this extra high right here, and then when it gets to this part, it'll be crazy to the ear and it gets to hurting. So that's why I start at the loudest part first. Or, you know, if you want to get all crazy nerdy, you get your automation in, and then you get the switching in between two different EQs or whatever the case may be, and one EQ is all high boost up on the lower part, and then it'll shut off once you do your automation on the bottom here, and then it'll turn on to another EQ. But no, we ain't doing all that. And it's good to play it relative to the mix after you solo it. So, because I did have to just raise that up just a little bit, slightly. But, you know, we learn together. Even though these claps right here, they got a reverb on it, but I got a what was that? The fruity gross mix, and it's just chopping out every fourth is just chopping off that tail. Which gives it that cool gated effect. Just a little ghost. Highlight the drums because I'm going to take them all down just by a decibel or two. Because this isn't like a hard dance type of groove. It's kind of like a soft dance type of chill groove. So most of the drums is just they're not thumping as hard. It's not a in your face type of song, you know. Okay, I'm gonna put some on the snare drum too. That's a shot. Okay. Now I'm about to group all my individual tracks together. Call that All Music, AMX, for a crazy abbreviation. Bus channel 1, 2. How you like that one? All the way to here. Alright, you notice this is not tied in with that yet. This is what I do for that. I create another channel, make it a stereo, make it an auxiliary input, call it both. I will send it to, send it to 3-4. Make the input of both 3-4, and send the output of All Music, which is 1, 2, to 3-4. And this is when I would put my compression on. You know, the glue compressor, not a heavy compressor, just to glue it. Mute this for now, because I'm gonna do a couple of things with the All Music bus. No, just one thing actually, which is you know what? I may want to do it all on the both channel. Let's do the things I was trying to do, which was see what it sounded like with some tape saturation. Too much space. Let's try another one. And this, you know, just to give it some analog sound, you know. Either make it sound warmer or make it hit harder. You could do it for each individual instruments, each individual tracks, or you can do it for your master bus. can live with that. And then I will put a compressor underneath that. Yeah, I like that one better. And take off a little bit more of that undesired bass. And then put the retro limiter on here to give it the volume. A little bit goes a long way. Oh yeah. It's important to turn your master volume down because I had it turned all the way up so I can hear everything. And now that, I got my volume boost on, I can turn that down to 0. And that's kind of important because that's going to help you gauge how loud you need to turn this when it comes to the printing or the bouncing stage. But I turned that back up so y'all can hear it. So after I create this right here, just call it Yikers right now. Yeah. Because I don't have a title for this song. But that's how I be sometimes. It's all good. Ain't nothing too detrimental. But yo, this has been Gktv Yikers, Pro with the Tools, episode 11. And y'all can follow me on all social media accounts. That is Yikers7 on Instagram. That is Yikers77 YouTube. That is GKTV Topic YouTube. That is GKTV Spotify. That is Yikers Topic YouTube. Yikers Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. And everybody have a blessed one. GKTV Yikers!